The reason why corporate media is doing a terrible job in covering him and essentially allowing, smear merchants like Eric Adams to run their mouths is because they hate the economic policies that Mamdani champions. That's what this is really about. And I want to talk a little more about Islamophobia, and in fact, call out someone that I have the displeasure of hosting a show with.
Here we go.
Her name's Lindy Li. So I want to go to that video next because
dude, this is intriguing. How is she gonna square this? Because Anna's about to call out Lindy Li, but like, dude, she's yucking it up. Like, I hate to say this, but if you sit on that show and you yuck it up, you've already hung out with 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍, Islamophobia, racist, white supremacist, Proud Boy. Like, who are you hanging out with on this show? Lindy Li is the Joe Biden donor who flipped the day of the election to be a Trumpy, and now she disavows all like things Democrat, and she's one of her co-hosts. She's a grifter extraordinaire on the Her Take podcast. See, at this point though, how can Anna be on that show and they're monetizing her like drama with Lindy Li? Like, dude, you got to figure it out, Anna.
On Her Take last Friday, here's what she had to say about Mamdani. Let's take a look.
I am absolutely stunned that the city that is famous for being terrorized by Islamic terrorists is on the cusp of electing Islamic extremists who is chanting globalized intifada.
Dude, what the fuck is she saying? He's not an Islamic extremist. He's never chanted globalized intifada. She's reading. She like PBD wrote this. Dude, Vinny wrote this in a fucking whiskey haze or some shit. Like, what kind of propaganda is this? See, this is the problem I have, okay? Because Anna calling this out is so fraudulent because Anna's allowing her, like, notoriety to sell this goddamn show. Anna's selling this fake propaganda bullshit.
Intifada as its mayor. That for me is just jaw-dropping. This is 24 years after 9/11.
I'm just curious, is there a day you wake up where you don't see terrorism everywhere? Because you literally just implied that this guy's a terrorist, and I found that bigoted, Islamophobic, and absolutely disgusting. If you don't like his policies, I can understand that, and we can have a discussion about those policies.
Now, here's the thing, is Anna is fake, okay? Anna's a grifter too. Anna's using her notoriety to sell this bullshit show. But I will say that in the matchup between Anna and Lindy Li, like Lindy Li does not have a chance, right? Like Lindy Li she's dumb. She's like a grifter royale, but like Anna's gonna fucking eat this woman alive. I have real issues with this fake shit though. Where Anna says, I want to call out Lindy Li's bigotry, but it's like, Anna, you're selling Lindy Li's bigotry. You're working for a bigot named PBD to sell bigoted propaganda to people with your progressive notoriety. You're literally taking the world that you built politically to sell propaganda to people, and now you want to act like you get some, I'm standing up to this bigoted woman. No, you're platforming this bigoted woman. Lindy Li wouldn't have nearly the reach if it wasn't for you, 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍.
After 9/11.
I'm just curious, is there a day you wake up where you don't see terrorism everywhere? Because you literally just implied that this guy's a terrorist, and I found that bigoted, Islamophobic, and absolutely disgusting. If you don't like his policies, I can understand that, and we can have a discussion about those policies. But it seems like you just have a problem with the fact that he's Muslim. You have a problem with the fact that he looks a little different from other previous leaders. Don't interrupt me, I'm still speaking, I didn't interrupt you. Listen, the problem with that mayoral race is that the Democratic candidates who ran against him in the primary offered nothing. They offered nothing but the status quo. By the way, the progressive who ran in the primary has decided to endorse Mamdani and happens to be a Jewish American. So
yeah, that's Brad Lander.
Allegations that Mamdani is like some Muslim extremist who hates Jews is utterly ridiculous. And by the way, Cenk, I noticed that Lindy Li changed her tone a little bit when it comes to Mamdani when you were debating her on Piers Morgan's show today. Let's take a quick look at that.
Cenk, I just want to say my opposition to him has nothing at all to do with...
Dude, look at this panel, bro. Can we just take a minute to take in this panel? Look at what we've got, dude. We got Piers Morgan. Dude, look at the fucking pause game, bro. Cenk, this is Cenk's fucking prison photo. We got Piers Morgan, Cenk Uygur, Geraldo, and Lindy fucking Li. Like, oh my God. I mean, what's crazy is like Geraldo is like the winner of these guys. How did Geraldo become the most like legitimate person on a panel? Oh my God, dude. Geraldo is literally the most legitimate person on this fucking panel. That is frightening. Dude, I'm waiting for crackhead Barney to like show up.
Cenk, I just want to say my opposition to him has nothing at all to do with Israel or his faith. That it's nothing. It's to do with his Marxist ideology. And I have to say, I feel sick to my stomach because of it. I was born in an authoritarian communist regime that murdered my great-grandfather in cold blood. Right. So anything that reeks of communism.
Yeah, that murdered her great-grandfather that she never fucking met. And she never like had any contact with him. So she's nursing some wound against Marxism from an unseen entity. And now everybody who wants to have free healthcare is a Marxist. Because of course, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That like free buses means you're a Marxist. Really? Like, dude, come on, bro.
Just send shivers down my spine.
I have yet to host any show with Lindy Li where she doesn't bring up her personal experiences and what happened to her grandparents at the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. But nonetheless, she's ignorant, she's Islamophobic, and I find her embarrassing. Cenk, back to you.
You want to see Lindy Li 8 months ago? Now she's like talking about Marxism and shit. Watch this, guys. This is gonna blow your mind.
She is now able to galvanize young people in states that were formerly completely out of play. Michigan is back. Young people who were disenchanted or completely tuned out are back. The energy behind her has been absolutely phenomenal. I don't remember this level of excitement since I was a kid cheering for Senator Obama. This is just truly incredible. And just for some perspective, it took me a year essentially to raise 1.1 million for President Biden. It took me a week to raise 2 million for Kamala Harris. So this is astounding and completely unprecedented.
Isn't that crazy? Dude, she's like, I haven't felt about Kamala Harris this way since Obama. This is an intifada of sorts, you could say. Right? Oh, shit. That, like, my God, unprecedented, astounding. And then the day of the election, she was like, I'm an immigrant. Dude, you got to see this. It is crazy. This is the day after the election.
I don't think it's just the business world. I think it's across the country. People are fed up and they realize that Biden and Harris, they lied to us for the past 4 years about the cognitive state of our president, and they failed on immigration. The expiration of Title 42 was the original sin. Millions of migrants poured into the country, and I am a naturalized immigrant myself. I'm speaking as an immigrant. My family and I came here with $200. We never took a handout. We waited in line. We followed all the rules. So for immigrants like me who became naturalized Americans, proud and grateful Americans, it's extremely upsetting that people are just flooding into the country willy-nilly.
So look at that. So now, the day after the election, she's been mad at them the whole time. Now, yes, there's one more thing I got to show you because she said the cognitive decline. Well, let me show you Lindy Li after the debate. Remember when Biden was like shell-shocked? She tweeted, I was with President Biden a few minutes after the debate tonight. Here we are at his watch party. He was amazing and kind, as he always is, remembering tiny details about me and my family. I don't care what the pundits say about this great man. I will always be Team Biden. So on the day of the debate, the night of the debate afterwards, she said, he is so sharp. He's not in cognitive decline. He's remembering tiny details about me and my family. You see what we're dealing with these people? Like, bro, professional grifter. Like unbelievable. Unbelievable. The thing about this, though, is I know that Cenk and Ana are trying to navigate this as being the trustworthy ones and the ones that are telling you the truth. And we're pointing out the thing, we're being good journalists, but they're enablers. Okay? Ana is on that show making money off her facing down with Lindy Li. And she's got to know that whole show. Look at the guests, dude. The tampon guy was phony. 𝗙𝗍𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀. I mean, they have the worst guests, the biggest right pill, bigoted, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Muslim, you name it. Just the worst of the worst, like evangelical fucking Zionist bullshit associated with that show. They're all reading prepared shit off their laptops. The whole thing is just dog shit and propaganda. And she's being funded by that. And they're like doing the same thing. They're grifting off of it. You know what I love? Can I just tell you something about the Vanguard guys? I want to show you how these guys are for real. Because you know Ana and Cenk and all that, they always say, oh, those guys are just living off of us. They talk down to him. But check this out. You see that? That's the future New York mayor who's setting the world on fire, Zohran Mamdani, right? 4 years ago, bro, he was on their radar 4 years ago when he was running for his state assembly during the pandemic. He was already on their radar. So when you want to give the Vanguard, like, talk shit or act like whatever, their drama, they're doing it. These guys have been watching and paying attention to the progressive scene like long before anybody else was. And that's the real fucking deal there, okay? That's the real deal. This goes back to that thing I say about like walking the walk, right? There are people that talk the talk, okay? There are people that, like, now Cenk and Ana are talking about Zohran. Right now they are, because he's on the national stage and he's really viral and everybody's talking. So now they're going to have an opinion. And now they're like, oh, he's using our strategy. But the fact of the matter is these guys have been really paying attention to progressive politics. These guys have been really watching. The only thing I could find from TYT about Zohran was when he shut down Crackhead Barney. Somebody was trying to troll him and he shut them down. And they're like, oh, this guy shut down a troll. But they didn't say anything about his politics, or they didn't give him any interviews or anything like that. But this is, you know, when I saw this, I realized, like, man, these guys are really like doing it up. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it.